Hi, welcome, and thank you for subscribing to the newsletter list. Today, as I already told you in the email, in video number 1, we are going to talk about our refrigerator, and we all have one. Some people have a really large refrigerator, someone have a small one, some people have one with a freezing department on the top. Some people have drawers, freezer drawers down below, and they come in all sorts and sizes. We know the refrigerator since 1922. That's when it was invented, and most refrigerators come with a manual. If you have one, I would advise you to read it because there's valuable information in a manual, but like the most of us, we just use it and enjoy it every day. So this refrigerator and your vegetables, we already talked about the vegetables that do not belong in the refrigerator. There's lots of stuff that doesn't belong there, but it's a useful place to put all your groceries when you get home. So let's talk about the cooling compartments in your refrigerator and the temperature that it should be. So I'm going to open mine, and I'm going to get the camera a little bit closer so you can see it. So we talk about the refrigerator. Okay, so this is the refrigerator, and in the refrigerator it has a certain temperature. You have a little knob, a little, let's see, one of these in your refrigerator. And most people just turn it on the very coldest they can get it, because they like a cold drink. You know, we all like a cold drink, but it's not very good for the other stuff that you put in. You would say, yeah, but it's just fresh food. It needs to be cooled. Well, this is something that think about, where do you find your produce and your groceries in the supermarket? Do you find eggs cooled in the supermarket? No, you don't. So where do you put them when you get home? Not in the refrigerator. When you have bags of cut vegetables, do you store those in a refrigerator? Yes, you do, because they're stored in the supermarket in the refrigerator too. So let's talk about the cooling zones. Now, the warmest place is here, and the door. And why is this the warmest place? Because warm air goes up and cold air goes down. So this drawer is for vegetables, and you would think, hey, but Caroline, you just said that the coldest is down below. Well, actually, it is, but there's no ventilation going through this drawer because it's closed. So it keeps fairly warm, and because this is the way it's built. The temperature in the door is usually between 4 and 6 degrees. So 4 here and 6 here. The ideal temperature is 4 degrees Celsius. How do you find out if that's okay? Buy a thermometer. Or if you have one, just put it in the refrigerator. This is actually a normal one, just one that you would have in the garden. This one is actually made for the refrigerator. It actually came with the refrigerator. And you can only measure it if you leave it there like for a night. Put it in the evening, get it out in the morning. This here is the coolest or the coldest place in the refrigerator. It can actually get up to a point where in the back it's almost freezing. It's 2 degrees. So if you want to store your juices, your cranberry juice for instance, and you like it really cold, just put it here. In the door, we store stuff that could be cold, like wine, but not too cold. Because if you drink wine too cold, you don't taste it anymore. But let's talk about all those other things another time. For instance, in the course that we're doing later this year, we will tell you all about where you store what and why, and give you nice little lists of all the groceries and the ingredients, vegetables for instance, that you can store in the refrigerator. Another marketing tip is most fresh juices that are stored in the refrigerator in the supermarket do not need to be stored in the refrigerator when you get home. They do when you open them because they're made of concentrate, but they don't need to be stored in the refrigerator all times. And that gives you a lot of room in your refrigerator to store other things like leafy vegetables or salads in a bowl, which take a lot of space. So this also goes into the door. So in the refrigerator, 4 degrees Celsius, and in the comments below I'll see how much that is in Fahrenheit for the people that do Fahrenheit. This is the warmest place. So your lettuce, if there's no room in the drawer, you can put them here. And then for the rest, there's little things that you need to clean. Keep the refrigerator closing at all times. And in your manual, there's lots of tips how to do that. So that was the refrigerator, just the highlights of it. And I hope you learned something. Leave some comments below. If you have any questions, you can also send them to Caroline at thenaturallifestylist.com. Visit our Facebook group and you can ask questions there or give comments. So on to the second video. See you there.